What was the thing you were asking Ryan Graves about? Like something red that came out of the ocean?
So Ryan Graves had initially told me about the Vandenberg Air Force Base incident. And actually the individual that witnessed that, the firsthand witness, actually testified to me at the last hearing. And you can actually pull up, if you go to YouTube and you type in Rep Luna Vandenberg Air Base, you'll probably see the witness testimony as to what they saw appear over the air base. It was wild. I mean, there's like firsthand witness accounts of a security force.
And it was allegedly like in the early 2000s?
Yep. And it was, I think, like a football field or two wide, which is wild to hear. And then here we go. No, don't go to that one. Go to the first
Ryan
hand.
Graves?
No, go down. It's going to be at the last hearing. Wow, there's a ton on. Yeah, there's a lot. UAP. Type in UAP hearing Vandenberg Air Base. Don't put my name on it.
UAP hearing Vandenberg Air Base.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
The top one?
Yep. That's him. First-hand whistleblower account.
All right. Morning. Thank you, Chairwoman Luna, Ranking Member Crockett, and members of the
is that James Fox right behind him? Look at that.
For giving us the opportunity
this is the actual witness.
Yeah.
My name is Jeffrey Nusatelli. I'm a former military police officer
you hit it
with
at double
16
speed.
years of active duty service in the U.S. Air Force. I'm here today because the American people have both the right and the responsibility to know the truth about unidentified aerial phenomenon. That truth remains hidden, classified, and silenced by fear, retaliation, stigma, and confusion.
He goes into
Today, we are here
a
to
full
help break that
description
silence.
of this.
Between
Also
2003 and
later on in the
2005,
questioning.
5
You have to
UAP
watch
incidents
the
occurred at
hearing.
Vandenberg
It
Air
was
Force
like
Base,
2 hours
home
long
to the
or
National Missile
something
Defense
like
Project,
Right.
top national security priority. At the time, we were conducting launches deemed by the National Reconnaissance Office as the most important in 25 years. These were historic launches. These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by UAP. Each incident was witnessed by multiple personnel, documented, investigated, and reported up the chain of command. We sent information up, but we got no guidance down on how to handle these events. I personally witnessed one of these events and investigated others as they occurred. 6 other service members have provided me with the information that I will share with you today. The incursions began on October 14th, 2003, when Boeing contractors reported a massive glowing red square silently hovering over 2 missile defense sites. After several minutes, it drifted further east onto the base and vanished over the hills. This event, now known as the Vandenberg Red Square, was referenced by Representative Luna at the first hearing on this topic. Official Air Force records of this event are in possession by Aero and the FBI. Later that night, while I was on duty, security guards at a critical launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object over the ocean. I responded to the incident. Chaos ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us, and now it's right here." Moments later, I heard them say that it had shot off and was gone. When I arrived on scene, I talked to 5 shaken witnesses who described a massive, triangular craft larger than a football field that hovered silently for about 45 seconds over their entry control point before shooting away at impossible speed. About a week later, another patrol reported a light over the ocean, behaving erratically. Believing it might be an unannounced aircraft, they declared an emergency. An armed response force responded.
So we had him, the chief next to him is still actually active duty in the Navy. So we had for the first time, an active duty service member coming to testify on the topic. And then we had George Knapp and then another individual who Borland, I think is his last name. He actually faced a lot of retribution for coming forward on this. So they tried they tried to go after his VA medical history, all of that. And we actually saw
who went after it?
Whoever these people are, like people within the government. But that's not the first time that we had a vet have their records leaked or attacked after coming forward. So Grush had his
just shadow
VA.
people are releasing this. Like we don't know who.
Well, yeah, it's like an inside job, botch job on their reputation to try to discredit them. So shortly after Grush had testified, someone leaked his medical records out of the VA.
Right.
To try to discredit him.
That's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
This is like the Streisand effect, right? Like when you're attacking these people who are coming out and saying this stuff and trying to like deliberately ruin their reputation.
They try to ruin Borland's life. He's later on. You need to watch the whole hearing. It was pretty wild. So anyways, all that to say that we just go on facts. The facts speak for themselves. I don't tell people what to believe, but I can tell you that I've seen some pretty wild stuff in this task force.
The giant red square coming out of the water is just totally insane.
But it's not just him. It was multiple other people that saw it.
Yeah.
And there's reports allegedly housed at Aero. I've had not a good experience with Aero. I would like to defund Aero altogether. I think they're a waste of a program.
Yeah. Out of all the people you've talked to and like all the skiffs you've been in and all these whistleblowers that you've interacted with, if you were just to take, I know you don't like to speculate, but if you were to bet on like what this stuff could be coming from, like what do you think? Do you think intergalactic space aliens? Do you think it's time traveling humans, breakaway human civilization.
I call it non-human intelligence.
Angels and demons, like Tucker Carlson thinks it is.
So Grush does a good way of outlining this in a way that's very factual, and he calls it NHI. I think an older term for that would be what Tucker Carlson probably calls as angels and demons. So
like,
but it's interesting.
From where though?
But that's the thing, is we don't know. Like, it's not
Right.
like I can be like, beam me up, Scotty, and answer the questions. But
I know you don't know, but I'm just saying, like, what would if you were in Vegas?
I don't know that answer, but what I can tell you is it's been interesting because, you know, we go back to some of these very old texts that talk about this that were somehow removed from the Bible, which is also a weird conversation, but it's pretty straightforward in what those things are. So I don't like to tell people what to believe. What I can do is present you with the facts and tell you to read a book. You should probably read the book and then draw your own conclusions.
Mm-hmm. I had this NASA dude on here, Kevin Knuth. Mm-hmm. You know him? Mm-hmm. So he worked for NASA for a while, and he was a physicist for NASA. And he believes that these things, whatever they are in the oceans exclusively because all different planets throughout the solar system have crazy different atmospheres, right? Like, they have different gravity, they have different they have different levels of gas and oxygen and whatever it is in their atmosphere. They're highly vulnerable to like meteor impacts or comet impacts, volcanoes, you name it. Mm-hmm. Also, atmospheres can be gas, all different kinds of the temperature can vary like thousands of degrees in the atmosphere. But what he was explaining was, on all the different planets, all the different moons in our solar system, the water can only exist between 33 degrees and like 200 degrees.
So it's a controlled state.
So it's like a very, very controlled environment. So if you were another species and you were hopping from planet to planet, you would look for the planets with the water. And we're like, we are a water world. If you can look at our planet, look at the Pacific Ocean, and there's no land. It's just all ocean. So like, that would make and that kind of like blew my mind the way he explained that to me. He's like, you would just hop from water world to water world to water world because you have this perfect environment.
I would say that you would want to hop. You would do time travel if you could.
Or time travel.
Something. Look, I don't have all the answers, but what I will say is that just based on the stuff that we've seen, there's definitely something there. I don't believe when people try to gaslight the situation, because I've just seen too much publicly out there available evidence, to include things that I have seen that aren't publicly available, that I do believe tell a different story. And I think, though, that with social media, the ability for people to do their own research, I think that it's really kind of created this environment where people have access to more information than any other time in U.S. history. Mm-hmm. And so I'm simply here to present the facts. And I think that this is one of those questions. I think when you don't talk about these things, or you try to prevent the conversation from happening, that's where you get the weird conspiracy theories, right?